Welcome back to Unchartered. This week we'll be exploring what some may call the fishing capital of the world. Throughout our journey we will be experiencing the local culture, food, and of course the fishing that this Sunshine State has to offer. Stay tuned as Lawson, LOJO, and I compete for a $1,000 donation on behalf of LO, Mercury, and Ketchco.
We're on, baby!
This is Unchartered, Florida.
Welcome back to another installment of Uncharted. Lawson here, and this time around I am joined by Mr. LOJO and Slick LakeForkGuy.
Slick, I like it.
I like that. Well, I don't think, well, we're in Florida, and I don't think there's anywhere better to start than the Everglades. Probably one of the most unique parts about Florida. So we're gonna go out and see if we can smash some bass, but this whole trip is gonna be about moving around Florida and kind of embracing the culture and catching all the fish that we can. We have some freshwater days planned, we have some saltwater days planned, and all the meanwhile, we're gonna be competing against one another to win some money for charities that are provided by our sponsors, LO, Mercury, and Ketchco. So, right now, we need to go put slap down on some big largemouth bass.
That's beautiful. I hope we don't get rained on. This is Florida. There's always a chance. But being in this canal, I hadn't fished water like this in a long time. I'm excited, like true grass waters. Stained tea-colored water. It's pretty.
It's as Florida as it gets, is this type of stuff right here.
Yeah, exactly.
Thick, sloppy grass, lily pads, alligators, largemouths. It's the good stuff. Little air conditioner for it?
All right, here is our challenge card. This is what we got, gentlemen.
Let's hear it.
Exotic one off the first one. First peacock bass, 100 points. We are in a canal. There are peacock bass in here and cichlids and all sorts of things, so crazy. First largemouth bass, 75 points. Don't you cast yet? I see you up
He's
there.
got rod in hand. I'm dying over here. I'm ready.
Bro.
Okay, every other largemouth bass after that, so each one 25 points. And then we got biggest peacock, 75 points. Spot and alligator, 50 points.
So, challenges are all fun and dandy, but if there's not anything to enforce the challenges, what's the point of competing? So, at the end of each day, there will be a consequence for the person with the lowest points at the day. And we have a card located somewhere in the boat that's gonna tell us when that happens, and we tally up our scores. Someone's gonna have to do something that's probably either embarrassing or not very fun. So you want to fish hard and hopefully catch more fish than your buddies. All right, I just rigged up right here, 4.75 Biospawn Extra Swim on a heavy hammer hook. Got that Guggen Squad heavy braid, I think 50 on here, and we're just gonna burn this through this hydrilla, see if we can get a fish that's sitting in the slap to eat it. Oh, I just
Got it.
second cast on that. All right, I think we just dialed in what's working, brother.
Rackley and I both just said that's probably a good idea.
All right, heavy hammer, Biospawn Extra Swim, and that, my friends, is a Florida largemouth out of the Everglades. Hopefully we can upsize. What do you think? He's probably just at a pound, maybe like a pound and a quarter.
I think he's probably on that 2 train. On that.
Here, buzzbait's whizzing behind me. Remind me of Nom over here.
He's got a big head.
Sweet. So it's 75 points for me, first fish, is that what it was?
Yep. 75.
Should, in the honor of Master Dangler Rackley, give a... That smells like Florida, baby.
Yeah. Thank you. I want to take them. All right, let's feed some hungry people, y'all. I'm fishing hard right now. just switched up, and I'm trying to win this competition here for Feeding South Florida. Last year, Feeding South Florida generated 100 million meals, and there's still more hungry people out there. So if you want to visit feedingsouthflorida.org, it's linked down below, and we're gonna win this competition today and help them out a little bit. So let's get to yanking on them. Okay, this is what we got going on, y'all. 1/4 ounce grass hero. This is a swim jig. So the way this is designed, it's got a low profile line tie set at the nose of the bait, and it's got a light, just some fluorocarbon sprigs right here. So a little bit of weed guard for the grass. We got a smaller, this is a 3/0 round bend hook right here, very sharp, and we've got a 3-inch exo swim on the back, so as a trailer. So this is a nice little tasty treat. It's gonna come through that grass better than the spinnerbait. It's essentially like a spinnerbait head without the blades, and switched up to braid so I can really have a direct connection to the bass's lips. Was this like a mound?
I think like how this stuff happens is like over time, like maybe debris blows up and then a cattail blows into that, and it just like over time has made its own little actual piece of dry land. It's really interesting out here too, because when it's super windy, some of this grass head will move, and so this place can look different from day to day or even in an afternoon. Like I've been out here before, and an opening that I've come in has closed up while I was fishing because a big grass head blew into it.
It's like hair on a windy day.
Yes.
Nice and fired up for us with the old trolling.
Got him! Oh, yes, sir!
That's with the trolling motor.
Yee-hoo!
That shouldn't count.
Don't. I think this is what LOJO was getting bid on earlier.
Probably so.
These little guys right here. It was a ding, 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 ding. First bite on the old grass hero and the Biospawn Exo Swim. Good little combo. Kind of looks like a little shiner. So, yeah, I gotta do it. Little Everglades sniff. On the board, baby! On the board! I was about to say, something is wrong here if I can't even get a little Scooby dude to bite me. But finally did. Now, got the monkey off the back. It's time to get a bigger one.
All right, I am busting into a Yoda worm. Almost like a cross between like a stick bait and a fluke, and it's got that bait fish profile, but you can work it in a million different ways. I'm gonna actually fish this weightless like you would fish a Senko or a fluke, and get this in the grass and around some of these like big grass heads, and see if this will do the dirty for us here. This thing's about to unfortunately get eaten, boys.
At least you've got some kind of clear water now, which is nice.
Yeah, not totally choked out.
Yeah.
This does make me, I might just miss the fish right there.
Got him.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I kind of thought I had like
Is that a shiner?
some grass on. Yeah, this is actually called a largemouth shiner. You ever heard of one of these?
I think I just caught one a minute ago.
Sucker looks like a walleye.
We are on the struggle bus right now, just trying to get bites. But the wind has started picking up a little bit, and we're hoping that the bite is gonna pick up. So, starting to figure it out a little bit, but right now Lawson he's way ahead of the game here. He has a 25er and a 75er, giving him 100 points.
Whoa, hey there.
False alarm. Me, I've got that old 25. I think LOJO's rocking the old gooser right now. So, it's time for him to get bit.
As there's a fish running with it right there. Dude, you realize you just blessed me with that fish? You just got out of your mouth that it's time for me to get bit. And boom, on the board with the little plasma tail, which I also stole from him because he was getting bit on the little plasma tail, the finesse worm, like he was saying. You know, you want to be catching bigger fish than this when you're in a place like this, but this is not a size competition, really. So I'm just glad to be on the board. Beautiful Florida largemouth bass. They have that certain color that you just don't really see anywhere else in the world that I've seen them. So thank you, Mr. Rackley, for not only the bait recommendation, but also just speaking it into existence. Yeah, vibes, putting the vibes out there. So yeah, I just need him to say that I'm gonna win now, and maybe that'll come true.
So this is something that seems to be working right now. This is that finesse technique I was talking about, and this is a straight tail worm. This is that Biospawn plasma tail, and I've got it on a 3/0 hammer hook, the Google Squad hammer hook, and it's really important when you're rigging straight tail worms and swim baits and things that are weightless like this, that you rig them up straight. So your worm ends up lying flat, because if you don't, if your worm gets a kink in it, let's say, you know, this is pushed down like that, that's just gonna end up twirling. It's gonna completely change the action. And what makes this such an effective technique is when it's straight like that, it darts. So it'll go left, right. Sometimes it'll go up, and then it'll just sink, and it'll come through the weeds, the grass, way better when it's straight like that. So the way this hammer hook is designed, you go straight up through the middle of the worm, and it's really important to do this right here. Once you get that first step, pinch your worm up a little bit, whatever it is. Pinch it up, give yourself a little extra length, and then when you come through, then it'll lay flat. Then you take that hook and you skin hook it, and that's called texposing. And then you can, you know, run your finger over it, just to make sure you're not gonna get hooked. But when a bass eats it, they'll pop out, then you hook them. So the straighter you rig that worm, the better action you're gonna get, and the better it's gonna come through the cover. So.
Had another one.
There it is.
Got my worm. Got my plasma tail. That little joker. One of these guys is gonna clean him.
Got one. Yeah. Wah bam, it happened again. LOJO got a bite. Took his plasma tail, threw in there. I should just sit here and wait for LOJO to miss one, and then I just throw. It's the back of the boat technique. A little better. A little better. Like LOJO said, there's not many places you can go in the world and find bass that have. These are literally Florida bass. I'm gonna let him go because he's got a little bleed going. They have that distinct, aggressive, little bigger head that can grow faster because of that. Really dark, and they're just eating machines when they want to. Woohoo! Can I get bonus points for an extra jump? Got one. Yeah!
This guy.
It's the hundo mark. Just quietly gathering quarters back here.
I might keep up.
Smells like 25.
I'm thinking a spot move is the move right now. So Lawson has told us that there's really two places to fish in this area. You've got where we are right now, which is basically just a humongous grass flat, like a 3 to 4 foot grass flat. There's also canals that run adjacent to these flats. Canals get a little bit deeper, there's a little bit less grass to deal with, and plus you've got a higher variety of species that you could catch.
Oh my God.
So I think we're gonna make a real quick run up to one of these canals and see if we can't change my luck around a little bit, maybe get a big fish or a exotic fish in the boat.
Looks like something coming up right here.
Sorry, buddy.
Like on the other side of it. Oh my God.
Ready to come out.
Woo!
What in the world?
Hey guys, that's 25
That's
points.
25 points. Son of a biscuit.
Should I just do like Instagram style of like, yeah baby. What a shame. I almost feel bad that this is worth 25 points, to be honest. So that put me at 125, Rackley you're at 100, LOJO you're at 50?
25.
25? You gotta love the man's ambition. Well, we just moved and I'm just ripping a jerkbait in some deeper water. It's a lot more open, not as choked out with grass, and what a behemoth. Oh, there's one. That might be a
peacock. Oh my gosh, no,
No,
It
it's
looked
just
like it
a
for a second.
golden largemouth. What the heck? Yeah, I thought I hooked into a baby P. jerkbait might be something for us here. That's on the little Scout Junior. Yeah, the thing about a jerkbait, it's kind of the same as like the worm technique that they're throwing. It's like a faster moving finesse bait in my opinion, and you can run through a lot of fish like this, but you also stand the chance of hooking an absolute giant on a jerkbait. You know, every bass will eat bait fish, and especially this time of year, they're trying to starting to get to that point where they want to get nice and fat, so a jerkbait might just darn do it. Nice drop off with some arcs on it. Oh, there's one.
Look at the scout in the rain. Look at that.
Oh my gosh.
Look at that little guy. What a winner.
They're eating the scout pretty dandily, but I'm not blown away by the size here. Might have to take some evaluation and think about what's going to catch us a bigger fish, because it's all dandy to earn points, but I would like to stick a big one.
Oh, he followed it up. That's 50 points for your boy LOJO. I don't know why I'm holding him like that, but he doesn't really deserve anything more than that kind of a hold. He didn't even make any noise upon re-entry. Just bloop. That is good to know that the hard bait / moving bait bite might actually be decent. I mean, he's already proven that with the Scout, but I mean, that's 50 points for me. How many you got now?
I think 175. Well, fishing was productive, but not very big. We caught lots of schmeaters, squeakers, whatever you want to call them, and I think it's time to enjoy one of the finer things about Florida is some Cuban food, man. So I think we're gonna go get some Cuban Sammys, maybe some papa fritas or whatever it's called, I don't know, but we're gonna go find some good food and get off the water here, and we got more planned for the day though. First we gotta grub down. Well, I've got 50 points for seeing the first alligator when it was back at the boat ramp. Who would have guessed? And I'm just getting lucky today, I think. You know, hasn't been a big giant bass day, but it's been a ton of fun just being out here. I need to back the trailer in, and then we are going to open up our consequence card and see what, I think LOJO's in last place, I'm pretty sure, and see what he has to do for the consequence of today.
Lawson, you pulled ahead with a little gator stunt at the very end. Jeez.
Dude, I was shocked that we didn't see an alligator while we were out there. It was windy and it's hard to see him, and then we pull on the ramp and I'm like, you
Right
saw
there.
them with a gun just waiting for us at the ramp.
Good looking out. So that was another 50 points. So you ended up with
Like-
over 300?
No, I think like 250 or something.
250,
like that.
okay.
Yeah.
Still.
250.
Domination.
I had the old century mark, 100.
I had
LOJO,
50.
you had 50.
Yeah.
So today's punishment, you got to dress up the rest of the day as a Miami Vice character. Happens to be Don Johnson,
Okay.
who often wore a pink shirt. These very style. They've come back into style.
They have,
Sunglasses,
like, kinda like the aviators or
aviator
something like
style, and then this
The white sport coat.
sport coat, man. You know, for those of you that don't know about Miami Vice and Don Johnson, think about Grand Theft Auto
Right.
Miami Vice. That's basically the look that we're going after here. It might be big enough for you.
Maybe.
We'll see about the shirt. You could be busting out of this thing, but it's gonna be a nice little touch when we're going to eat some delicious Cuban food.
I agree.
later. See
Yeah.
how many looks you get.
Those glasses are slick, actually.
Those are
Holy
pretty on
cow.
point. Wow.
I like them. How do I look?
Solid gold, dude.
Yeah?
Solid gold.
The laugh on your face, the smile on your face.
Oh, yes. Wow.
The bicep level is like, it's so tight.
Dude, you gotta get a flex in.
I'll tear it if I do, I think.
Right, you should try to rip it, dude.
Unchartered is not just about fishing, it's about new experiences, and part of the experience, big part for me, one of my favorite parts, is the culinary experience. So getting to experience new foods, you know, new people, new cultures, I have very little experience with Cuban food, so I'm excited to see what we got coming here. Suggestions?
Well, we have the Havana taste. It comes with like pork chunks, chicken chunks, fried yuca, like a bunch of like little things that you can try.
Like
no, that is sugar cane.
Sugar.
Sugar cane.
Yeah.
We were all wrong.
So it's like a little, like, you know, like a platter with like a bunch of little things.
Okay.
So if you guys want to try that.
Yeah, let's do a big sampling. Is there enough for everybody with that?
Oh, I think so.
Okay.
All right, we are just sitting down now at a restaurant called Little Havana, and it's really cool how South Florida is inspired by a bunch of Cuban cuisine. It's just a little over 100 miles away from Cuba is the most southern point in Florida, so it's cool to kind of see what happens.
I'm gonna need people to tell me like what is what.
That's banana chips.
Plantains or bananas. Yeah.
Nanner chip.
I don't know what that is.
That is a cilantro sauce right there. This is gonna be so good.
I bet that's good.
Oh, you know it's gonna be good,
Ooh,
brother.
that's
Oh my
good.
god.
That's good.
Holy.
That's what we're smelling right there.
It might be.
That's good.
Wait there. I think this is yucca.
Yeah.
So this is fried yucca, fried plantains. This is.
They snuck a mozzarella stick in there.
I think that's a chicken. Chicken and maybe pork over here. Maybe the pork is in the tamale looking things.
This is a kind of potato.
It's a root vegetable,
it's a root
like
plant.
similar to a potato, but it grows in huge, huge roots.
It tastes very similar.
Yeah, very good.
Dude, try some of that.
A lot of carbs.
Pull that cheese apart.
Wow. I don't know how many of these are in there, but I need to cut this in half for you guys to try it. I don't know what it is. Imagine like a pork hot pot. You got one.
Even those onions.
This chicken looks like a wing.
This pork is so tender. I stuck my fork into it and it just pulled out like that. Oh, this is living. That, my friends, would be a beautiful Cuban sandwich. Mustard, pickles, Swiss cheese, and loaded with some pork. And a little baby Cuban flag to top it all off. This is the good stuff. I think probably the most iconic Cuban food. Like, everyone knows what a Cuban sandwich is, you know. But it was really cool getting to try all that other stuff that blew our minds. Like, we walked into this place and LOJO was like, tell me, please, what is that I smell? And she was like, I don't know, it's everything. So we got to have a little bit of everything, and now we get to have the staple here.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Dude, it's sweet, it's tangy, cheesy. It's all there.
After having that other stuff, with so much time into the meat, like the spices and the slow cooking, this is a good sandwich.
Feels basic though, right?
But it feels basic at this point.
I'd have to agree.
You know you're eating good stuff when the Cuban sandwich is almost like, it's good, but it's not as good as that. Well, the Cuban food, I don't think it could have gone better. It's legitimately probably one of the best meals I've had in a long time. And I mean, we went in on just appetizers from Cuban Sammys, and it just was perfection.
So we had our fishing competition this morning. We had some delicious food, and now we're gonna do a fan boat tour. And a fan boat, ladies and gentlemen, is how you get around in the Everglades. There's so much grass that this is just the way to go.
We got a lot of high water out here right now. So they got a lot of water in here right now. They let a lot of water out from up north, and they're moving it all the way through from Okeechobee to Arthur Marshall, which is just north of us here, to the Francis Taylor, which is where we are, and then all the way south down through Dade County, and then drop it off out in the ocean. We got roughly 2,300 square miles of Everglades out here, and it's a big area. We got roughly 200 in this area, but we'll see a good chunk of it. Called a reflector camp. There's 17 camps in this area where we are, Conservation District 2 of the Francis Taylor, and there's 72 in the Everglades. Now if you look back along that tree line all the way running south down to Fort Lauderdale, that's the Sawgrass Expressway.
Right over here we got your American freshwater alligator. Worth 50 points.
50 points.
I think it's the
Well,
Lawson
Lawson he
again.
keeps seeing them, so he's got all the
He's
points.
like, there's another gator. I'm starting to think he's planting gators around here. That one's real though.
Yeah, that's a real gator.
It's
And
cool watching him size up
yeah,
like that.
he's kind of like
Yeah.
floating up, like.
He was sitting, when we pulled up, he was sitting on that little grass tuft right there, and he kind of slid right off of it once we came up because he wasn't sure what was going on. And gators, like, he's about a 7-footer, and gators have a way of, like, sometimes, like, when they're feeling, like, real tough, they'll pull their back out of the water and sometimes lift their tail up. And they do that when they're, like, basically trying to fight or size up with other alligators, and they're trying to show how big they are. And pretty funny, he's, like, sitting here watching us, and at first he was kind of getting real nervous, putting his head up and down, and then he kind of put his back out. Now he kind of turned his head, he's
Flexing on
checking
us.
us out. Yeah, he's looking at us. Oh, thank you. Beautiful. You want water?
Off the Gator Express.
That was good living.
It turned into the Gator Express for
How
sure.
many did we end up seeing? Like
God,
7,
6, 7?
8?
Yeah.
Something like that. I think Lawson saw all of them. So, yeah, this has just turned into Lawson Points Day.
Yeah, he
But-
scored. He scored a few points. It's okay though.
That was really cool. I had never been on an airboat like going that fast, and it has that feeling of being in a bass boat, like we were doing
Little
that.
bit.
But then when you drift and then you start going over the grass, it's so cool. It feels like you're on a drone or something like that.
Watch
Yeah,
out for the
glide.
trees.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, you
gliding.
glide over the water. It's pretty cool.
And you get to see like the back areas where you normally don't get to see when you're
Yeah,
fishing.
you're not
you know?
getting back there in a bass boat, or I mean, there's just no way. No way.
Lots of life, incredible ecosystem. So
Yeah, for sure.
pretty awesome.
Good time tripping around out in the boat.
It's a good rip. I want one of those houses out there.
Dude,
Yeah, for sure.
All I've been thinking about is how does one acquire one of those houses, and now how do I get an airboat? Like, start pinching my pennies.
Yeah, the house thing was awesome.
Yeah, I had no idea that was even a thing.
Just neither did I.
And apparently there's like dozens of them out there. We could see them all over the horizon. There was just dozens of them.
So
Crazy.
cool.
Can you
Insane.
imagine that morning frog bite right off the porch?
Right off the porch. Yeah.
Pretty wild. So I think we're done here today. The points ended up in massive favoring of Lawson.
Yeah.
I think you're over 300 now with the gator spots.
Just the hometown advantage. It's
Yeah.
a little unfair for you boys.
Show the game.
I see gators all the time, so my eyes are just peeled to look for them and tune them in, you know?
I
yeah.
believe it. You were killing us on that front.
So I think now we're gonna head north to the land of big bass, a legendary lake.
Now Lawson did jump out to a big lead today, but the points are going to continue to pile up over the course of this entire 3-day journey. So it's not over just yet. There's still those 3 charities that are involved. One of them are going to walk away the winner. Also a big shout out to the sponsors of this trip, Catch Co, Mercury Marine, and LOJO. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you guys up north.
Stay tuned for the next episode of Unchartered right here.